Help your child succeed at school. What parents need to know and do. Part 1. You can help your child succeed. This 4-part workshop for parents is brought to you by Pacer Center through funding from the Minnesota Department of Education's Federal Award State Personnel Development Grant. In Part 1, You can help your child succeed, we'll be helping you as parents understand the importance of your role in supporting your child's education, and we'll be providing simple ways for you to make a big difference in how well your child will do in school. Parents are important. Even with great teachers, there are some things that teachers just cannot do as well as you. You are your child's first teacher. You know your child the best and you care the most. Most children have favorite teachers, but teachers change from year to year. You are present in the life of your child 24/7. You have a lifetime interest. School staff are valuable and important, but they can't educate your child without you, and they have many children to think about. You only have your own children to think about. A child is best served when parents and school professionals can work together. Why is parent participation so important? Parent participation will help your child do well in school in these many ways. Help your child do better on tests, improve school attendance, help your child stay in school through graduation, get better grades, improve your child's attitude towards school, and even improve your child's behavior at school. And research supports these findings. One important thing you can do, and it's an easy thing to do, is to set the expectations at home and share those with your children. For instance, one expectation is communicated by saying, "School is important in our family, and we expect you to work hard." And encouragement. Let your child know you can do it. I know you'll do great in that class. Just always know that I want you to try to do your best. It's important to share your hopes for after high school when your child is young. Expect and promote regular school attendance. School is your job, and we show up for our jobs. Support getting there on time and the value of graduation. Be proud. Teach your children about your culture, your beliefs, your values, and language so that they carry that with them to school. It's really important for children to have goals to aim for, beginning young and being reinforced each year. And you give your child a goal to aim for when you ask about and listen to their thoughts about school and for the future. And then share your own hopes for education after high school. It's really important in the role of a parent to help the child connect school with real life now and in the future. State your belief in your child's ability to achieve career or vocational training. Show an interest in the work they bring home from school. Post good work on the refrigerator, or perhaps start a scrapbook of completed work so that they can see their progress over time. If your child has a disability or special learning, physical, behavioral, or other challenges that can be a challenge to learning, there's some things that you can do that will help your child. Seek to understand your child's disability. Learning about it will help you understand options for raising a child with this disability, and it helps you to ask good questions about what's going on at school because of the impact of that disability. It also will help you understand why some areas may be more difficult for your child. And then that will help you understand if the services and supports that your child receives are appropriate to meet the needs of your child. Understanding the disability and its impact will help you know which supports and accommodations might be needed and how to ask for them. But do remember as you're learning about the disability that no two children with the same disability are the same. You want to ask, how does this disability or learning challenge impact or affect my child in a very unique way? There's lots of information. It's sometimes hard to know where to get good information. You could start with PACER resources on our website, and Minnesota parents can call and ask to speak with a PACER advocate, and we can refer you to other sources of information. Also, ask your school for local community resources that are specific to different kinds of learning or behavioral challenges. And ask the principal, your child's teacher, the school social worker is a good person to ask, or if your child is receiving special education, the IEP or Individualized Educational Plan case manager to help you locate additional resources. Many of these resources for information and support and advocacy are free to families. For children to stay motivated, to participate and work hard in school, it's really important that they see that connection between school and their real lives, now and the future. To do that and to make that connection, it's helpful if families can share positive stories about your experiences in school, or situations that were difficult, but that were worked out in the end. Help your child make connections between what they're studying in school with how that skill or knowledge will help them in other areas of their life, both now and in the future. For instance, you're working hard on these math problems now so that you'll be able to get that job where you have to be able to use cash register and make change, or to get that job where you have to be able to measure the dimensions of something you're going to build. Knowing what your child is studying in school helps focus your conversation on those future goals, and it keeps your child looking forward. School is not just about today. School is about the future. You can help build that bridge of from here to there, from where they're at now in their life to where they're going, when you connect school subjects to current events, to personal interests, or career goals through your conversations with your child. There's so much in our current events that lend themselves to a conversation about what they're learning in history or social studies, and in the natural world to link to what they're learning about in science, for instance. Connect school subjects to your child's hobbies and interests and activities and places your child goes. And then share your own personal successes and challenges with school. Maybe it would be helpful to share what you wish you would have done differently, as well as what things were so worthwhile and that you were glad that you learned in school because they're helping you now in life. Parents can really provide some building blocks for learning, the foundation that will allow your child to succeed in all sorts of areas in school. Just some basic things that parents are in the best position to provide. So you can promote school readiness, both before they start school as very young children, but also on a daily basis. You promote this school readiness when you read with your child. And that kids are really almost never too old to be read to or with. But as you start early, your child will connect written words with a story. Then you ask your child questions to check for understanding. And we're going to, in our parts 2, 3, and 4, give you lots of tips for how you can help your child learn to read and succeed. But another way you can help is to discuss and support behavioral expectations that may be different from those at home, that are at school. So, depending on your culture and your family values, there may be some behaviors that are allowable at home when there's just a few people and perhaps a relaxed schedule that are going to be different within that school environment, and help your child understand that. Expect and encourage that regular and prompt school attendance. Research shows that kids who are at school do better, and kids who don't miss portions of the beginning of instruction also learn more and do better. So parents are really in a good position to help support that. And then always be supporting that expectation that your child will graduate and get a diploma someday, but not only that they'll be able to continue on in a job or in post-secondary education because of what they're doing in school now. Homework is a subject that many parents struggle with for a variety of reasons, but there's some simple things that you can do, even if you think you aren't in a position to be able to help them with that real complex math homework. There are some things that can make a difference. For instance, just set aside a time for them and sit with them regularly to do homework. Even if you don't know the content or how to do the math, just the fact that you're there and interested and you can see what they're doing and talk to them about it can really make a difference. Ask about school projects and help them find the resources needed to complete those projects. Find out what your child is studying in school so that you can help make those connections at home. Talk about school subjects and connect them to those current events, personal interests, or career goals. And one really great tip is to ask your child to teach you something they learned at school that day. Often when, as parents, we ask our children, how was school? They say, fine. And what did you learn? And they say, I don't know. But if you ask them to teach you something they learned at school, it gives value to what they learned and it gives practice, which increases their success. Make homework, reading, and learning in general a priority at home. Many experts suggest 10 minutes of learning per grade level 5 days a week, regardless of school assignments. Help your child learn how to find school help, because sometimes they're going to struggle. School can be challenging in many ways for many students. So help them find out who to ask for help when they need it and how to ask for it. You can ask what kind of homework help is available at the school or in the community. Oftentimes, local libraries provide homework assistance, and there are online homework assistance centers. You can ask school staff and other parents to share ideas about what has helped them. A really important piece of a parent's ability to be able to support their child's education is the home and school communication that takes place. Know how the school communicates with all families. Through the use of Friday folders, perhaps, or school planners. Many schools have gone to kind of online parent portals, which give notices, calendars, and folders that don't really go home. And if that's the case, you want to be sure that you know how to access those online resources, or if you don't have access to the computer or internet, you want to ask the school to provide you that information in another way. Also, it's important to find the best time of day and way to communicate directly with the teachers. Teachers often just have a prep time, it's called, where they're able to return calls. So ask when is the best time to reach you and what's the best way to reach you. And then let them know how you prefer to be reached. Do you want a phone call? Do you read your email? Give them that information so that important information can be communicated in a timely way. And if you have English as a second language, request an interpreter if you need one. Ask for someone competent or skilled in your native language, and be sure to ask who the person at the school is that can be the key contact for you. You know, it's also helpful if you can share information about any major changes at home that are affecting your child at school, perhaps their ability to focus, such as perhaps a grandmother being very ill or a parent losing a job, or even sometimes a particularly exciting event that's coming up soon that the child is focused on. The more you understand what is happening at school, the better you will be able to help your child at home. To do this, it's important to get the information that you need and be able to use it effectively. So PACER has, through this project, created a school record-keeping file folder system for parents that has a section for all the different kinds of information that the school generally shares with families so that you can keep it organized and available. It has tips and it has checklists for questions to ask at conferences and a roster for important contact information. These folders are free to Minnesota parents, and on this web page you will see information about how to order those, or you can call Pacer and request a folder. We also have special education record keeping folders for families who have children in special education, with sections for all the important records you need to keep track of, the evaluation reports and the individualized education plan or IEP, the progress reports. So again, please be sure to check out the ordering information. Those are also available outside of the state of Minnesota or to school districts, but there is a cost, you'll note in the information. Parents are the expert on their child. Educators have expertise in their fields. Together, we can make a difference. You have completed watching part 1 of the series on helping your child succeed at school. For tips on fun reading activities and ways to encourage reading in your child, please watch part 2, 3, and 4.